other terrible incidents were linked to it. It seems now that 3 young people have been attacked in all. One of them, Marsha McDonnell, died. The latest violence happened yesterday, about half a mile from where Marsha was killed, and again it was after midnight. It's revealed new clues, and in a moment we'll show you what they are. But first, the most tragic case. Marsha's friends take us through what happened the evening of her death 3 weeks ago.
My dad took us into Kingston because we didn't want to get the bus, basically, because it was freezing cold. So he just dropped us before the bridge and we all walked over.
Well, we'd all arranged to go to the cinema to see Catch Me If You Can. I wanted to see the film because I thought it looked good. Lou and Marsha wanted to see the film because it had Leonardo DiCaprio in uniform in it.
Oh, I don't fancy it. Why you turn him down? Yeah, well, I've got a boyfriend, haven't I?
Oh, I've got a boyfriend!
Marsha was such a big impact on everybody, and if I was ever going out with any of my friends, there was always Marsha coming out. She makes everyone laugh as well.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at that! It's like something my dad would wear. No, I think it is your dad. Oh, seriously, it's your dad! What are you doing in the window?
Could never ever possibly have an argument with her. I don't see how anyone could have an argument with Marsha.
I didn't think I'd find any that would actually go with the outfit.
I think we got there about half an hour early to see the film. The film was at 9:15, so we literally just had time for one drink, so we weren't in there very long.
It was my 21st birthday, so I was having a party and I wanted it to be a bit different, so I thought we'd have a fancy dress uniform party. And Marsha and Lee were desperately trying to come up with unusual ideas for what I could wear. Crazy ideas they're coming up with.
What about dustman? Oh yeah, I've done that. It's pretty quick on.
We were a bit late for the film, so we just rushed up to the stairs to get our tickets and then just went straight in.
Hands on your head.
Oh, that's the new IBM Selectric.
Put your hands on your head.
Print type in 5 seconds.
Shut up!
Pop out the ball.
Put your hands on your head.
The film didn't finish till 10 to 12 and our bus was at 5 to 12, so we had to race out while the credits were coming on.
We got the bus stop quite near where the station is. I don't know Kingston that well, so I just kind of followed them.
Our bus was due at 5 to 12. As soon as we got there, me and Tasha got on the bus.
It's all right, yeah. It wasn't anything special. Oh, Marsha, here's your bus. Oh, no, it's ours. It's yours. Oh, okay, well, bye. Take care.
I will. I'll see you at your party, yeah?
Before then? Yeah. Okay, are you going to be all right? Okay, leave your mobile on. Give you a call, yeah? Okay, bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Marsha's bus was due every 15 minutes, so we knew she'd pretty much be getting on it in the next 5 minutes after we left.
After a few minutes, Marsha caught the 111 bus at 8 minutes past midnight. Her journey took her back over Kingston Bridge towards her home in Hampton. Marsha got off the bus in Percy Road at the stop after Hampton Station. She walked back down Percy Road and turned right into Priory Road, where she lived. The time was approaching 20 past midnight, 20 minutes into Tuesday, the 4th of February.
Darling, wake up. There's something going on outside. I think someone Someone's been hurt. I'm going to call an ambulance. I think I can see blood. Hello? I need an ambulance.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? There's an ambulance coming. You're going to be fine. Just hang on. Yeah, put it around her shoulders. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just hang on. If you can hear me, just hang on. There's an ambulance on its way. No, nothing. I tried talking to her, but nothing at all, no response.
Marsha had massive head injuries. She was taken to Kingston Hospital, but died next day. She was 19.
Tasha went ahead with her 21st party because we were going to cancel it because of what had happened, but we know that Marsha would be the first person up there dancing about, so we just had the party and said a few words for her.
Yeah, I lit some candles for her. I really think she was there. I feel like she was.
This is Detective Superintendent Alistair Jeffrey. Not just Marsha, but now 2 other people attacked in the same way, and you're sure they're linked. Why?
Well, we're linking these crimes because there are certain similarities between them all. They're all in fairly close proximity. They're all during the hours of darkness. They all seem random and motiveless, and the weapon used seems to be a blunt instrument in each occasion.
Now, let me just tell you a little bit more about these other 2 attacks to put them in perspective. A 17-year-old girl was found 7 weeks ago in Walpole Gardens in Strawberry Hill. It's about 2.5 miles from where Marsha was found. At first, people thought she'd just fallen on the ice. It was very snowy at the time. But at the hospital, they discovered that she had injuries on the back of her head, an injury probably caused by a blunt instrument. She was very seriously injured. The boy was hit here in Ormond Drive in Hampton. A man swung a heavy object at him twice, but the teenager managed to dodge. Just like Marsha, he'd been on his way home after a night out with friends. He was coming back from Kingston on the N285 bus. He'd got off at Hampton Hill, walked along the Uxbridge Road and into Ormond Drive. And that's where he saw someone, and this hasn't been released until now, emerge from behind a wall and run towards him. It was a dwarf wall, so the guy must have been lying down, hiding behind it, which is pretty significant. What else new have you learned from this attack?
Well, really, the most important thing that's come from this attack is for the first time we have some idea of what the attacker looks like. It's not a brilliant description, but we do know that he's fairly tall, probably between 5'10" and 6 foot. He's a fairly slight build, and he did have distinctive clothing on at the time. He was wearing a white hooded top with the hood up, and over that was a dark jacket, also with the hood up, a fairly heavy jacket.
So he had 2 hoods, so he'd really come out protected against the night chill, and it was pretty cold then, of course.
He did have 2 hoods up, yeah.
OK, it's been suggested in one of the papers this morning that he had a hammer. That was the attack weapon. You don't know that for sure, do you?
We don't know it was definitely a hammer. No, it was a blunt instrument of some type. But this type of attack with a blunt instrument is very, very unusual, and it wouldn't surprise us if this person has used that type of instrument on another occasion, perhaps for a minor offence or in some other way. So that could be quite significant.
Or hitting furniture, hitting an animal, somebody who's shown this sort of predilection for violence before like this.
It could be anything like that.
And given, as you say, that it's motiveless, it seems so irrational. Could this be somebody who's been in contact with mental health workers before? I mean, most people who are mentally ill don't get involved in any sort of crime, let alone this. But this seems so irrational. Maybe that's a possibility, a real one.
Well, it is a possibility, and obviously we're appealing to anyone out there who may have treated or may be treating someone they think could have committed an offence like this to come forward. Now, I know some might think that would be a breach of confidentiality, but it's quite clear from the General Medical Council In actual fact, this is in the greater public interest. This is about saving someone's life, potentially. So if anyone has any information like that, please call in.
3 attacks now. This is a real serious danger to public, to the life of other people in the area. Let me come back to that in a moment. Ask you about the friends of this person. Anybody who's a family member, what would they have seen in his personality?
Well, the first attack was in early January, and it may be from that time that his behaviour, this person's behaviour, has changed significantly. And anyone that has seen a change in a friend or a family member that could believe that that's significant, then please call in. Every bit of information is vital.
These last 2 attacks were late on Monday night, early into Tuesday morning. Anything significant in that?
Well, really, the significance of that, I mean, the most recent attack was Monday night, as you say, into Tuesday this week. That person would have got back home if he'd gone straight away at about 3:30 in the morning, potentially, if he's a local man, which we believe he may be.
Now, we spend so much time on this programme telling people, look, serious crime isn't as widespread as often people think. But here in this area around Hampton, this is a real problem now. People have to take precautions. What precautions?
Well, really, we're just saying to people to stay safe. Don't put yourself in a position where you may be attacked. Be very aware of your surroundings. Go out with friends if you've got to go out. Be very careful. Just don't put yourself on offer.
If you've seen anybody who you think is suspicious, particularly if you see someone hiding as this guy was, for heaven's sake, call us here in the studio. If there's a member of your family, a friend who's been behaving oddly, if you are a psychiatrist or part of the psychiatric community, call us in the studio if there's anyone you think the police ought to know about. The number is always on the bottom of the screen, 0500 600 600, or call the incident room on 020 8358 0100. You can also email us. Just go to our website at bbc.co.uk/